What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright. I believe we're getting really close to the end of this trial, so we're just gonna go right on into this right now. Hopefully you saw the previous clips and you know what's going on. I am a witch, indeed. A sinful creature that killed the person to whom she owed her life. However, regarding the gentleman standing next to you, Mr. Wright, he may have fallen victim to a witch, but that witch was not me. Oh. Wait, what? Rubber. There are two witches. Order in the court. What is the meaning of this? Jean Grey admits killing Sir Belduc, but not to turning Sir Layton into gold. That is the gist of it, my lord. But lying about it is meaningless. Lying? Just being a witch is a crime in itself. And the punishment for that crime is the same, regardless of whether she took one person's life or two. That's why there's no point in lying about it. I'm sure that's what the judge is thinking. Quirrell is still claiming she never laid a finger on the professor. But if there's no point in lying, does that mean she must be telling us the truth? So, in that case, who is responsible for what happened to the professor? If it wasn't her, then who was it? Please not be Maya, please not be Maya, please not be Maya. Mind if I say something? I totally forgot you were there, Amir! Take a hint, witness. Does it feel like this is the right moment for you to talk? Yeah, well, that's kind of why I was staying quiet until now. But, I either say it now or never. Don't simply fall silent after saying that. It only makes it weigh on my mind more. Whatever did you want to say? Oi, Bluey. Yes? I need to make sure about something. Me head's not what it used to be, you know? Yes? The alchemist's butler, lady butler, she slipped sleep medicine into his drink? That's correct. She laced his tomato juice with it. And then she strangled the alchemist afterwards. Yes, Sir Belduc was unconscious from the sleeping medicine, so he didn't resist. And that explains why we found no signs of a struggle at the crime scene. Yeah, about that. I let it slip earlier about what I did at the crime scene, right? I told you that, I had a few sips of that juice. And the sleep medicine mixed in made you sleep like a log. Yes, we remember. Yeah, well, here's the thing. This is just between us, okay? You see, when I appropriated that juice, the juice bottle was, well, still unopened. It was unopened? Ha ha ha, me throat was parched and I wasn't thinking straight. That brand new bottle was just there, waiting for me, with a corkscrew conveniently laid next to it. I could just let it go to waste. I swiftly pulled out the cork and got to drinking. What? So, in case you don't get what I'm getting at, the alchemist didn't have a single drop of the juice with the sleep medicine. Huh? What? Oh boy. Witness, you went to the trouble of opening a bottle found at a crime scene just to drink its suspicious contents. That's what I've been telling ya! I was dying of thirst! That doesn't justify what you've done!
Objection!
The Inquisition shall deal with this witness after the trial. He will find out what it means to be dying of thirst in a more literal meaning. However, let us not waste any more time with him now. The witch has confessed to her crimes. There is no need to investigate Sir Belduc's death any further. Indeed, you are right, Inquisitor. Her role in the Sir Layton incident is not entirely clear, but a person who kills her protector, to whom she owes her very life, can be nothing other than a witch. This logic is cringeworthy. The court has sufficient grounds to sentence her as such. Belduke didn't drink the juice that night. And if that's true, there's one thing to hear that doesn't add up. Mr. Wright, I have to say, there's something about this that's bothering me. I'm sure there's a contradiction lurking in that man's testimony. You think so, Luke? Can I really turn a blind eye to that? Investigate the contradiction. Fuck that noise, we're investigating. Mister, you're saying you opened the tomato juice bottle. But that claim contradicts a certain piece of evidence. What? Defense, I'd like a word with you. Yes, Your Honor. At this point, your client's innocence has already been established. Therefore, whether there is a contradiction in that man's testimony or not should no longer be any of your concern. That may be so, Your Honor, but even though I'm here to defend the accused, the true duty of an attorney is to uncover the truth behind what happened. My job's not done until there's no more contradictions left. You go, Phoenix. Take that. Very well. Sir Blue Knight, let us hear about this contradiction you have discovered. The bottle was first opened by that guy, meaning Belduke didn't drink any of it. That means there's one piece of evidence that should be very difficult to explain. I would like to hear about this contradiction too. The defense shall present evidence. Where is the contradiction in this witness having been the one who opened the tomato juice bottle? Well, let's look at the crime scene sketches.
Take that!
The contradiction can be seen in one of the sketches of the crime scene. In one of the sketches? Please take a look at Sir Belduke's mouth. We can see a line of red liquid trickling down from his mouth. Yes, well, we have already established that it was the tomato juice. Oh! Exactly, Your Honor. Sir Belduke didn't drink any of the tomato juice that night.
Objection!
Which means there's only one other possibility. The red line is, as we thought first of all, blood. Sir Belduke must have tried to fight back the assailant and bit his tongue in doing so.
Objection!
Unfortunately, that would only bring us back to the problem we encountered earlier. If the victim had put up a fight, then there should have been traces of a struggle at the crime scene, and yet no such traces were found. That's what made you assume the witch must have used Famalia. Yes, that is so. As I explained before, Master Belduke didn't struggle at all at that time. But when I think about it now, in light of the new information, it was very unnatural. The victim didn't drink the sporific, yet didn't struggle. But what does this mean? If it's not tomato juice nor blood brought about through the struggle with the murder, then what else would it be? Or could it be? Suicide. It's kind of sounding like it. Since it's not tomato juice, we have to assume it's blood after all. Yeah, right? It's gotta be that! We have ruled out the possibility that the victim bit his tongue while struggling with the attacker. Indeed. Then there's gotta be a different reason for that blood being there. He must have suffered internal bleeding that was somehow connected to his death, but what could have caused it? Your Honor, if I may ask one question. A question? To whom? If I just clarify this one suspicion, I may be able to explain the blood shown in the sketch. That's why I need to question one person in particular. Emir. Mister, can I ask you something? Yeah? Don't give me that scary look, Blue, eh? I know nothing. Nothing at all. I've got nothing to tell. Emir is as innocent as a little lamb, but as his confidence, more than a sham. He'd be better off without that bard. You drank the tomato juice that was at the crime scene, right? Don't keep asking me about that over and over again, so what if I did? Then I have another question for you. Did anything else disappear from the crime scene that day? I'm pretty sure he's gonna lie to you. Nah, I didn't notice anything.
Objection!
Oh my god. Witness, just what have you done this time? You look like a dog caught making a mess on the carpet. Why are you looking at me like that? I don't know about anything going missing. I'm innocent. Please believe me. Truth could drown in his swimming eyes. Some tell lies well, others cannot tell lies. Looks like my gut feeling was right. He took something from the crime scene. Something that could be directly connected to the red liquid around Belduke's mouth. What on earth did that man steal from the crime scene? A certain item disappeared from the crime scene that day. And at this very moment, it's highly likely that the item is right in front of our very eyes. What? It's here. Isn't that right, mister? Is it? I have no idea. Balderdash. Defender, I order you to show us what this item is. The item that this witness took from the crime scene. Well, he needs to stop moving first because this bottle is really starting to bother me.
Got it!
It's this bottle. The bottle? Miss Grey Earl, I'd like you to clarify something for me. What would that be, Mr. Wright? Sir Belduke was working on creating certain medicines. He had various dangerous substances in his possession as well. How were they stored? Master kept them in a locked medicine cabinet. The bottles were labeled so that it was clear they were dangerous. They have all been confiscated. Excuse me. As for those labels, do they resemble the label on that guy's bottle? Mister, what are you doing with the product of Master's research? It's not what you think! I didn't have any evil intentions or nothing! Can we just say Amir did it, for the hell of it? That bottle belonged to Master, and it was used to store strong poison. Poison strong enough to kill... Poison? What? The red liquid trickling down Sir Belduke's mouth was definitely blood. Now, as for what caused him to bleed like that from his mouth... It was the deadly poison from the bottle this guy stole from the crime scene. This is outrageous. What? Rubber. I love these trials, man. They're so long, but I love them. Order. Whoa. Do you expect me to just keep quiet? It was poison. Am I going to die?
Objection!
Amir, you have like the stomach of like, I don't know, something. Just wait and see. Time will tell. Yeah, I guess. More importantly, I want to know why you have that bottle. Huh? Well, that's, remember how I told you I drank the alchemist's tomato juice? Indeed, it's not something easy to forget, especially having heard it several times. Well, that was when I saw it on the floor, this bottle right here. It was totally empty, and I thought, you know, it's such a fancy looking bottle and all. I'm a bit of a skull fancier. They have this air of danger about them, right? They certainly do. So since it was there, and I was there too, I felt we were kinda meant for each other. Amir, please. I thought this bottle's so classy I could die for it! Ugh, Amir. Had any poison been left in the bottle, you would have died instantly, but if it was empty, it was probably harmless. Ooh, hear that? I'm gonna live! Good thing I rinsed it well before use! But if the victim was killed by poison, that raises a new question, of course. Who could have poisoned him? Considering all the evidence and the testimonies we've heard today, the answer is so close I can taste it. Sir Belduke was poisoned by... himself. It was, of course, Sir Belduke himself. Sir Belduke himself? Sir Belduke took that poison of his own will. His death was suicide! Called it. I mean, like, even if I hadn't played it, it just basically just all led to that. That is preposterous. A suicide. Inconceivable.
Objection!
Think about it, Inquisitor. That would explain the most unnatural aspect of his death. The most unnatural aspect? Miss Grayle, when you were strangling Sir Belduc, he put up no fight whatsoever. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Until today, I was convinced it was due to the sleep medicine. It wasn't, because he didn't take any. The truth is, when you gripped his throat, Sir Belduc was already dead. He had poisoned himself. Ugh. But would the poison have caused him to bleed from his mouth? I personally know of no poison that works instantly and causes such symptoms. Oh, you don't? I can't just tell them that it happens on TV all the time. There are certain plants in this area that contains a highly poisonous substance. In the course of his research, Master Belduc found a way to extract that poison. What am I hearing? Is there really such a dangerous plant in Labyrinthia? The poison is very bitter to taste, so it would be impossible to secretly slip it into someone's food or drink. And it would cause internal damage. It is a very powerful poison. Drinking it would induce a most painful death. And to think Sir Belduc could... But did Sir Belduc really choose such an agonizing death for himself? It doesn't seem like he suffered that much. I would like to know that too. Miss Grayle. You mean to say the Master killed himself after exposing me as a witch? I cannot believe it. He just wouldn't commit suicide. Indeed, we cannot take such a theory at face value. Had he committed suicide, I dare say he would have left a suicide note. Well, thanks for bringing that up. I can't say why Sir Belduc committed suicide, but I think there's a piece of evidence that can confirm his suicide was a possibility. There is a piece of evidence like that. Oh, come on, we just showed it in the last video. Forgot already? If you have such evidence, you ought to present it to the court immediately. Present the evidence indicating that Sir Belduc's death could have been suicide.
Take that!
Well, I don't have the actual letter, but this'll do. That's Sir Belduc's letter. Let's see, it was addressed to the storyteller, wasn't it? This is the last letter written by Sir Belduc. Now, if his death was a suicide, then this letter may well be his suicide note.
Objection!
What we have here is nothing more than blank sheets of parchment. Whether or not there was a suicide note is something we can only speculate about. That's right. But there is one person who knows whether this letter was really a suicide note. You mean the person who swapped its contents? In other words, you, Jean Grey Earl. Witness, you stole Sir Belduc's letter on the night of the crime. Tell us, what was written in it? I don't know. What? You don't know? I did steal the letter, yes. But I don't know what its contents were. You mean you have not read it? I couldn't bring myself to read it. It seemed that if I did, everything that had happened since Master Belduc saved my life would be ruined in an instant. I've taken it out and held it in my hands many times. But no matter what, I just couldn't... Miss Grey Earl. Can you tell us where that letter is now? I have it here. Oh! You're carrying it around with you? If you were searched, you would have been done for. That night, having killed Master Belduc, I decided to stay in his residence. I knew my identity would be revealed sooner or later, and I was ready for it. So, until that time, I decided to always keep the letter with me. Milord. Yes, witness. If you don't mind, could you please read it aloud? Now that I am here, in this place of judgment, I think I'm finally ready to hear what Master Belduc wrote.
Hold it!
Miss Grey Earl, I think you should be the one to read it.
Me?
Sir Belduke wrote this letter to the storyteller as he was preparing to die. I think it's only right his last words should be read by you.
Yes, you're right. I see. I understand. Please allow me to read the letter aloud. My dear friend, I hope you will be able to forgive me for leaving this world of my own will. I have finally made this decision, having seen that accursed bell tower
appear in the flames on that dreadful night. That lightning was a sign that we have angered the gods. What I have done cannot be forgiven. I can never escape from it. For the past few days, I have been thinking that it might be best to simply expose everything. This town's secret, the truth about the witch. Of course, I understand that secrets need to be kept. However, I have grown very tired. I'm afraid I cannot keep the secret any longer. I have only two concerns. The first is my daughter. It pains me to be leaving her alone in this world, although she probably doesn't think of me as her father.
A daughter?
I was not aware that Sir Belduke had a daughter.
Mr. Belduke seemed to know a lot about this town. This town's secret, and the truth about the witch.
Truth about the witch? Somehow I don't think he was talking about Miss Grey Earl.
Oh. The second matter, weighing heavily on my mind, is that Jean will be left on her own.
Seeing her growing up, so strong and righteous in defiance of her fate, had given me hope. A short while ago, she brought me my usual, and what will be my last, drink. There are so many things I wanted to tell her, but I could only manage a thank you. She is a very sharp child. Had I said any more, she would have caught on. You could call me a selfish man, but I didn't wish my last memory of her to be a sad one.
Master Belduke. If the fate handed to her by this town has made her life an ordeal until now, I hope from the bottom of my heart that a wonderful story awaits her next. I intend to leave my residence to her, and I would like you to look out for her.
Alas, it is time for me to put my pen down, my dear friend. What I truly wish to express to you is too complicated for words. I hope one day you will understand, but for now I bid you farewell. The time has come for me to go.
This letter, it wasn't a denunciation of me being a witch.
Master Belduke cared about you until the very end.
Yes, how could I have forgotten? I'm sure I knew it all along. So why did I? How could I have done that to him.
Miss Grail. My lord. What is it, Inquisitor Bottom? I think it is about time for the guilty verdict. Guilty? The Inquisition withdraws the charges against Maya Fey and charges Green Grey Earl for being a witch. All the evidence corroborates this accusation, and she even admits her guilt. Hence, the Inquisition asks that the witch be found guilty and punished immediately.
Objection!
The fuck, Barnum? Not so fast, Inquisitor Barnum. What do you want now, Sir Blue Knight? Admittedly, Miss Grail did attempt to strangle Sir Belduke, but he had consumed a deadly poison and was already dead at the time. Therefore, she is not guilty of murder. That's not what he's trying to say, but he's still being a dick about it. And one more thing. It also wasn't Miss Grey Earl who turned Professor Layton into gold. There was another witch present at the crime scene. The defendant, Maya, saw her too. To put it simply, Miss Grey Earl didn't kill anyone. This is really hard for me to read after, like, watching that whole scene. Yeah, she didn't kill anyone, and yet you still want to burn her? Maya, do you even know how it feels to be put in this cage? It's like everyone's against you, and it's super frightening. I'm not a witch, but I've been thrown into this cage, and I'm almost sentenced for something I didn't do. And now you're about to do the same to another person? That's just not right. Is that all you have to say? Huh? The one who's in the wrong is not me, but you, Sir Blue Knight. What? Whether the witch committed a crime or not is completely irrelevant. This is the witch's court. All witches must be punished by fire. But that's crazy! Why? Why, Barnum? Inquisitor Barnum is absolutely right. Being a witch is a crime. You understand that, don't you, Miss Grey Earl? Yes. Very well then. The court is ready to issue the final verdict. Maya Fey is found innocent, and in her place, Jean Grey Earl is found guilty of being a witch and shall be cast into the fire.
No! You can't! Hold it! Please, hold the verdict!
Espella?
What is it now, Espella Cantabella?
There is nothing else we can do. This is the course of things, and you should know it well.
Indeed, all witches shall be cast into the flames. That is the law of this town. A law that was written by your very own father. And furthermore, a law that has always been obeyed in the town of Labyrinthia.
A town like this should never exist in the first place.
What such insolence!
That's heresy! She's criticizing the storyteller's story! Even the storyteller's daughter has no right to criticize the story!
Trials in which innocent people are sentenced to death by fire. I shall make sure this is the last one.
What do you mean, Espella?
Since you're also keen on the rules created by the storyteller, you should know exactly what I mean. The stipulation for ending the witch trials. Once the Great Witch Bezella is burned, the witch trials will end. At present, I am under suspicion. You know very well why that is, don't you?
You? Well, you don't mean that you're,
I am guilty. I am the Great Witch Bezella.
What?
Now, cast me into the flames and let Miss Grail free. Miss Cantabella! This shall be the last of the witch trials. No one else need be burned hereafter.
Espella, just what are you saying? I can't let you do that.
Please, Mr. Wright, let me do as I wish. I'm sorry, but this is a problem concerning the people of Labyrinthia.
No! Please don't do it! There must be another way! You don't need to do this!
It's all right, Luke, Maya, Mr. Wright, and Mr. Layton. I truly appreciate all you have done for me.
This can't be happening.
Miss Cantabella, your confession will have very serious, or rather, fatal consequences for you. May we assume that you fully understand those consequences and are willing to accept them?
I am Espella Cantabella, the storyteller's daughter. But I also have another name. I am the Great Witch Bazella. I have lived hidden in the dark pages of my father's story, deceiving all of you. Many lives have been sacrificed because of me. But that shall end today.
Court attendants, seize that woman! She is the Great Witch, Bazella.
Give me 1 second to save this. Because I'm gonna go right into the cutscene and just end it there, yes? Good plan. And I'm pretty sure there's no save point right after the cutscene, so... enjoy! And I'll see you guys later in the next video.
Espella.
Just stop!